try to showcase, when a school is in a field, they try to allow you to showcase it, and they give you a couple of opportunities.
Right.
I think it's important, again, that there's no tax money involved here. I think that's really imperative. And that seems to float everything when we say that. Everybody's happy. There's no tax money.
That's very important.
Yeah, so I'll get up there and golf.
Yeah, exactly.
No, come on. You know?
And the Hillview's a good bargain, too.
That's right, the best bargain around.
Anybody
Well,
else?
certainly taking everybody's time. We appreciate it. Thanks to the school committee for allowing us in this evening. Thanks certainly to the members of the selectmen that have sat through the presentation for the second time. And thanks to everyone for your great questions. And we certainly appreciate your support coming over the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Not today. We're going to vote. We need to vote through that memorandum of understanding and reveal the dates of the vote before town meeting. We don't really have enough. Well, we got to get the plan. But I will. Well, we can do that. We can just change that. Yeah. Yeah. We can just, we're not going to take a vote tonight, but I would like to get some sort of consensus from the board, sense of how the board feels about this. I'll say that I'm in favor of moving forward. I've gotten over seeing the field without a set of bleachers there, and I think we could live with that for a year or two, maybe even a year and a half, or maybe even a year. So I personally favor going forward. I'd like to hear what everybody else on the board thinks. This is not a formal vote, just.
No, I've never been into this project. You know, I've been chopped into this project about 5 times now.
By who?
Calling me with the project, I think, as long as there's no legal repercussions or funding repercussions on the school department by our seeing this field,
Right.
are correct, then I don't have any problem with it whatsoever. That's the only thing that concerns me, is that somehow if we turn over the field that we're gonna get trouble with the state or the school building authority. So those are my only concerns. I have no concerns about building it, when to build it, how to build it. I don't have any problem with any.
The weather's good tomorrow.
So we get your, okay. Maureen?
I feel much more informed and better about the project. This was a great presentation, answered a lot of my questions. I would like to see you take the whole $2 million from Hillview. I know that those numbers came to 1.938, and you said that they were high. I would, yes, spend 2. If there's money left in there, then go for the bleachers. So, you know, keep an eye towards the $2 million if that's what's available. Certainly, that's what we did in school construction projects. What was approved was what we provided. So, to this point, I don't have any other questions other than the memorandum has to be agreed to.
My concerns were all satisfied by the memorandum, I think, in that I'm looking to maintain the function as we have it today for the purpose of satisfying the school need. And if we fully satisfy the school need, then we don't need the property. That follows. I'm extremely disappointed that we're trashing the stands when it would seem to me that with some minor compromise, we could leave the stands even if they didn't line up with the field correctly. That we could leave them until we had a replacement coming. We can sleds around. That's not going to go on a practice field with the construction anytime soon. It's going to take a while for the field to develop enough resilience to be able to handle that without turning into a and I can see that that's going to be a difficult thing to take care of. And that is one of those things that happens, and you can't just push it aside for a year, because that's a whole year of the kid's life that's going on there. Those are concerns that I have, from a position in the school committee. If the memorandum satisfies the need. But from the standpoint of somebody voting at town meeting, I'm looking at these other things as issues that I have concern about as an individual.
So I think conceptually, we all support it. You've heard some of the issues. I think, the one issue of a few months without having any field for the kids to play at, I think that'd be difficult, but I think we have to deal with that. And, as Jerry said, it wasn't pleasant, but we sent kids to Stoneham to go to school for 2 years while we built the batch. And I don't think we have to do as difficult or as radical thing this time around. It does come down to getting the memorandum of understanding signed and us being comfortable with the opinion we've got from town council and moving ahead with the transfer of the land.
Keep in mind, we have a lot of phys ed classes out there in River Park.
Right.
So, I'm sure we can make arrangements for practices, different events there as well.
You actually recognize the user fees.
What's that?
Recognize the user fees.
Wouldn't surprise me.
There's also one other
Not
fact.
a memorandum of understanding.
I don't think we want to overuse it, but come next fall, the 2 fields down at Chestnut Street will be back online full-time, correct?
Absolutely.
And I don't think we want to overuse those because we spent good money to fix them. But those will also be facilities that if we needed to use them, I don't know, for field hockey, for soccer practices, maybe not games, but those are available. And I think everybody's got to be flexible. As the youth soccer is going to go a whole year without those fields, they've been able to use more of Ventura Park because other sports have had to shift around a little bit. And we're going to be using the middle school field. So I think everybody has to be flexible to get this done. And I think it can happen.
So I think what dawned on us after doing all this, if you read the books from 1953 in town, recreation in schools, and then living together for over 55 years.
Right.
Memorandum of understanding with the marriage, you finally signed the paper.
Right. That field was a park before we built the
It
school.
was a town park, and we moved it, so we could sharing.
Before you sign the papers, you can just walk away. After you sign the papers.
Right. Well, I thank everybody for coming tonight. Our plan is to take votes before town meeting next week, or on the 6th, before the special town meeting. We meet before that. I'm guessing that if we get the memorandum of understanding, we're all comfortable with it, and we're comfortable with the legal rulings on the land, that hopefully we'll have a favorable vote, and we can just proceed right to town meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Okay, next on the agenda here. We have FY10 budget development. I don't know how much we can talk about it tonight, other than the fact that, in my opinion, the information on the stimulus funds gets cloudier.
And the more it's explained.
More is explained, more confusing it gets. We have the education commissioner of the state recommending that we don't spend, we spend 50% of the stability fund, the money that we're supposed to get from the stimulus funds on strategic plans and programs and not on things that are going to be long-term items in the budget.
Is that because you can't?
Because there's no guarantee that the funds can be replenished. Now, I just read a story in the New York Maine paper today that up there, they're already saying that they're going to get the same funds for fiscal 2011 that they're getting in fiscal 2010. So every time I read an article or see a memo, it has a different twist to it. There's also, David, I think, some of the memos you passed around talked about the communities that have expressed outrage at not getting any funding. Even though they're all at the foundation budget, and that could also have an impact on that money. And as Mr. Mosseri said earlier, what happens with the stimulus funds is going to be, the outcome of that is going to be determined by what happens with the budget. And they're not going to start debating the budget until, what you said, late April? So, I guess it's really hard to put a budget together when we just don't have an idea of our funding sources.
In the 50/50 part of the stabilization portion,
Right.
it looked like some of the things that were available in the enhancement portion are things that we sort of have in our budget that we're taking out. So it may be that there's a little bit of a trade going on.
Yeah.
Because those would in fact be an enhancement over the reduced budget that we have, or potentially reduced budget we have. We haven't said it's a budget yet.
One of the officers from the Mass Association of School Committee said that it's his understanding that they can't force us to spend that money on, that we could take all that money because it's basically to bring our foundation budget up and spend it on, you're saying, no, I don't. Because all that memo I read was a recommendation. It wasn't an order, it wasn't a law or a rule. It said we recommend that you spend 50% on strategic, whatever that is, plans.
If we get some certain dismissal year, is there a way, depending on when we receive, to defer some of this to the following fiscal years? Is that going to be done? Or would it have to necessarily be spent fiscal 2010?
That's why I think this one is fiscal.
Well, again, coming from a meeting today, I chair the Educational Technology Advisory Council of the Department of Ed, and there's another smaller pot of money called Title II-D, and it's the technology money. And the feeling is that there's going to be a release of it in April, and then another release in the fall. So they're going to portion it out.
Well, fiscal 2010,
Well, that's still the question, and the second release is to be the so-called innovative strategic plan. And the first part of it is a little more, on your own control. So, and the same thing's going on with the IDEA money. 50% of that must be used to, within the guidelines of IDEA, which is use it for supplementing special ed programs, and the other 50% can be used to offset special ed and then use whatever monies that you save toward educational. So I guess my take on it is they really don't have everything nailed down yet. I think I indicated that next Monday the superintendents are meeting with the commissioner, and there should be some more information for that.
Mr. Mosseri, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. I think it's relatively easy to deal with, since the Chapter 70 money is only a small portion of the entire school budget. If we could reduce the amount of general fund funds that are applied to the school budget and put them into a stabilization fund for the school going forward.
from the school